So if we have 2 points in the coordinate plane, how can we find the distance between them? Well, the distance between 2 points is really derived from the Pythagorean theorem. So imagine that we have a triangle, and it's a right triangle. The first point, x1, y1, and the second point, x2, y2, form the ends of the hypotenuse. And our goal will be to find d, which is the length of that hypotenuse. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So we know that it will be x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared, that's this length, plus the square of this length, and that will equal the square of the hypotenuse, right? It's like if this were a, and this were b, and this were c, we would have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But now we can take the square root of both sides. So d equals x sub 2 minus x sub 1 quantity squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 quantity squared. Now, we took the square root. Why don't we have a plus or minus here? Because this is the distance, and distance cannot be negative. So we can ignore that. And we will only deal with the positive, or at least the non-negative distance. So let's look at an example. Here we have 2 points, so we'll call this one x1 and y1. Call this x2 and y2. So the distance will equal the square root of x2 minus x1 quantity squared plus y2 minus y1 quantity squared. Take the square root of that sum, and our distance will be the square root of 3 minus negative 1 is 4, so we have 4 squared plus 2 squared, and so that gives us the square root of 20, which is 2 square roots of 5.